All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezer Show, where we throw the weekly rock news at you. Boy, oh boy, we got a busy one this week. I'm your host Murph, and I'll tell you what, man, we Ozzy's still in the news. A couple of different things going on in Ozzy's world that we have to talk about. Uh, One of our faves has got honored for something that we talked about quite a bit. We'll talk about that, and somebody sold his music catalog, or at least part of it. We'll discuss that a little bit. A sad RIP we have to deal with, and some revelations on a recent accident, and oh, Sebastian Bach, jeez. And we got to make a correction. Oh boy, we got to slap ourselves in the face. We'll do that. But first, I got to get my call-host here from up there by Wayne's World. That would be Doc Vox. How's it going, Doc?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Folks may have noticed we're switching to Tuesdays. We're a
Yeah,
little worn out after the weekend, so giving us Monday to recoup a little bit. And
another big gig this weekend. Yeah.
yeah. See, we get another day of getting news in. I guess. Well, it'd be another week now. We're doing it a Tuesday regular.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got a few stories that we went a whole 2 weeks without an Ozzy story, and here we go again. We got a couple of them this week.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Ozzy, boy, oh boy. Well, it it also includes one of our probably I would say one of our non most favorite guys, who's a pain in the ass. Where is he there? Da, 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 da.
Right?
There they are. There he is. Doggone it. Roger Waters. You know, he just can't stay out of the news cycles for the life of him. If he isn't, railing against wars and all this stuff, he and here he is delving into the music world, of course.
That's why I
And
call him Roger, always in hot waters.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he sort of smacked Ozzy around on some comments he made. He was doing an interview with the Independent Inc. Hang on, I gotta get my glasses on. Sheesh. Doing an interview with the Independent Inc., a podcast offering, here we go, cultural criticism, political commentary, satirical snark, and indecent exposures of the naked truths that make us all blush, boast, sing, and swear. What kind of
That's,
nonsense?
that's quite a promo there.
I tell you what. And so he's interviewing Jerk, and it goes talking about the lack of mainstream press coverage afforded to former Labor Party leader Jeremy Corbyn's political activities. Waters claimed that the media would prefer to distract people by covering the likes of Taylor Swift or, quote, Kim Kardashian's bum, or, here we go, or Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, adds Waters. In whatever state he was in his whole life, we'll never know, although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and
100 years.
nonsense. Idiocy and nonsense. The
No, years.
music, I have no idea. I couldn't give an F. I don't care, the real word, of course. I don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. I had no interest in biting the heads of chickens or whatever they do. I couldn't care less. Then the host, Mr. Fish, helpfully points out that Ozzy famously bit the head off of a bat, not a chicken, which inflamed Waters further. Oh my God, that's even worse, isn't it? He responds. I don't know. Is it worse to bite the head off a bat or a chicken? I'm not. They're both pretty tricky, aren't they? And, well, Jack Osborne didn't appreciate that too much. And quite honestly, at this point, I probably imagine Jack could probably kick his ass one side and down the other,
Oh,
considering the
sure.
shape he's in now.
Jack's a
he,
solid dude, man. He's
he's
just
really
stand up for pops,
solid as
man.
hell. And
Uh,
yeah, and we'll talk about him a little bit later too, in the next article here. But reacting to Waters' views, Jack Osborne took to Instagram to say, "Hey, Roger Waters, F you. How pathetic and out of touch you've become. The only way you seem to get attention these days is by vomiting out bullshit in the press. My father always thought you were a see you next Tuesday. Thanks for proving him right." Really, uh, uh, why would he? Why would he? Jeez, this guy. I don't know. Yeah, Ozzy was wiped out. But half the musicians, in the world were, at some point in their life, all wiped out, and just why? There's no reason to jump on Ozzy like that. This guy's just a snark.
Well, yeah, it went from he was just commenting on what the media is choosing to cover and what they're not, and then it gets to Ozzy, and then he starts on this whole thing about I never liked Black Sabbath, never cared about, didn't know. I find that hard to believe, first of all, because they were in parallel kind of. I mean, Floyd was
Yeah,
a couple years ahead of them, but they were pretty much parallel careers, and
early '70s,
so
they were
yeah,
both
yeah, yeah, yeah.
smoking. Yeah, so
So
yeah.
yeah, I find that hard to believe. So,
Yeah, I'm amazed they
but
didn't at some point cross paths either.
I
Their
mean,
careers.
he's not wrong. I mean, yeah, they do not cover the important things and cover the Kardashians and the Osbournes a lot, but to bring kind of this is not the time. I mean, he just died. He's
Yeah,
very beloved. Why stick
why
with the Kardashian angle? Why go down the Ozzy angle,
stick
man?
with
It's
the
just
Israel war or something?
yeah, right,
He's
right.
all over the place. I don't know that I'm the last person that should be how.
And to Jack's point, yeah, Waters is a see you next Tuesday. So they both got some points, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but like you say, Ozzy, beloved, beloved, beloved. Yeah, and of course, well, what we got? What do we got coming up here? Where are they? There's the guys right there. Yeah, yes, yes. I did it, Doc. I forced myself to watch the VMAs on
Dude,
CBS
I don't know how
Channel
you
2.
did it. Honestly, God, dude, I was just watching the highlights, and the 7.5 minutes or whatever I watched, I was felt like I needed to
Well, how I
shower,
did,
man.
uh, I listened to all the nominations and some of the speeches, but whenever these goofy ass music acts came on, because I got my computer right there, my laptop, I can watch both things at once. So I just mute the TV and go watch shoplifters getting arrested at Walmart and Target videos.
Right?
Until I see something come. Oh, music. Okay, then I'll get to the music, and it's a bunch of male dancers. I got nothing against dancers. I love dancing myself. My gosh,
Come
me,
from a long line of dancers.
me and an old friend used to, yeah, a lady friend of mine used to dance a lot, and so I'm into dancing. But I don't want to see guys up there
Yeah,
with their fritzy outfits and crap,
right.
prancing around the stage. Well, we talk about this all the time. How I just, singers got to have people dancing behind them because they're just not good enough to hold the audience to themselves.
Yeah.
But this was like a freak fest. Holy cow, man! Sabrina Carpenter, I think was her name. She had a stage full of frills and what a bunch of dude dancers. I'm a guy. I'd rather see lady dancers. I'm sorry. Does that make me? I don't know. What does that make me, Doc?
That makes you a homophobe there, Murph. That's what that makes it.
Homophobe. It makes me heterosexual. Doggone it. And then Lady Gaga, good riddance. She come out in like this big freaking coffee pot thing. She's at top of it, and it's just wow. These people, these narcissists, they're all
Yeah, she's
narcissists.
always. Oh, dude, this narcissist city there, dude.
This
That's
is
all it
it.
is,
And
man.
that's what drives me nuts. And none of these people, I imagine it'd be hard to have a regular conversation with any of these people because they're so out of their
No,
mind and all
no.
about me, bah.
And they're so out of touch with anything else. Exactly. That's all
Oh,
they see. Everything. Oh yeah.
yeah, it's all glitz and crap
Oh
and
god.
I just it's almost fun to watch just to see all the narcissists and how they're so self-important and stuff. Gosh.
Yeah, I said just in the highlights I watched, there was a couple like acceptance speeches and stuff, and it's like, oh my god. And then I got to thinking, were our parents like this when when we were watching this stuff back in the 70s and 80s or whatever? I don't think so.
No.
I think things have just really gone off the
Oh yeah,
down
yeah.
down the tubes wherever they are.
Yeah, yeah, I forced myself to watch it because I wanted to see the Ozzy tribute that they did there, and I thought
Yeah,
they'd probably screw it up because it's the VMAs. But quite honestly, when it come right down to it, I think they did a real tasteful job on it. They had this kid Youngblood. I'm just now hearing him and since the tribute or the concert
right,
the
right,
big
right.
concert where he played at. I'm just now hearing about it, and I don't know. You know, he's supposed to be the next Rock's next big thing. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
Here's my take on that, man. First of all, it seems like he's really milking this opportunity for everything it's
For
worth.
that one song, yeah.
So he's been around for a while. Like I said, I was aware of him. God, probably I don't know. It seems like 10 years ago,
No
probably.
way.
Yeah, I know he was on JBTV. Remember Jerry Bryant
No
TV?
way. Sure.
Yeah.
JBTV.
And
Oh,
that's
legendary.
how I was aware of him. And
Wow.
so
He looks
apparently
young.
he's
He
had
looks
a
really young.
yeah. So I'm sure he was real young then, naming himself Young Blood. I'm sure that was the
Oh,
point, when he first
okay.
started off.
Dope.
I'm thinking, but
You're probably right. Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't, just heard him that one time, never, popped up, since. And then out here, seems like 10 years later. And yeah, he's really riding this moment for everything it's worth, man. Which, hey, why not? It's that kind of business, man. Take advantage of what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, Steven Tyler come out, man, dude. That was sublime,
excellent.
man. That was excellent.
Yeah, it was very cool. It started out, the tribute started out with Jack Osborne and his, I believe it was 4 kids. If one of them's his wife, she looks mighty young. I think he has 4 kids. I think it was all him and his 4 kids.
He has 5 kids.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Maybe it was 5 of them. There was a bunch of them. He's got a real troop going there. He's trying to get a baseball team going. Keep going, Jack. You just got a few more to get, and you got yourself a baseball team. But he was honored with a tribute, and the Jack Osborne and his family, as well as a video montage of Ozzy throughout the years. Youngblood kicked off the VMA's musical tribute by singing Crazy Train with extreme guitarist Nuno Bettencourt leading the backing band. Extreme. That was they're a disappointment. I'm sorry. Youngblood strained a bit singing Crazy Train, but did a fine job on the next song, Black Sabbath's Changes, which is the one he sang at the big concert, which he also sang at the Back to the Beginning concert earlier this summer. And then Steven Tyler walks up with Joe Perry, just total rock star action, to sing Mama, I'm Coming Home. And it says here, the singer, whose vocal injury forced Aerosmith to retire from touring last year, delivered the Ozzy ballad with a heartfelt rasp and was joined by Youngblood for the second half of the song. It was pretty good.
It was pretty damn good, man.
And then the tribute ended with video of Ozzy in concert saying, "Thank you, good night, we love you all, God bless you." It was a good, it seems like his end, everything turned out just excellently,
Yeah.
The concert, his passing, and now this tribute. I mean, it all just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I recently saw a statement from Jack, and he was saying how his dad couldn't have gone out better. He said, he got to perform, he got to see all his friends one more time, he got to, just all the things he kind of got to do for with that going away concert. And there you go, man. You couldn't do it any better, man.
Unreal. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, there you go. And then and then I turned it off after that was it. I didn't care whatever the hell came up. Crying out loud, they had not Celine Dion. What's the other singer? The one that, my Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey was there, and it just, gosh, really, I was surprised they didn't carry her out on some kind of golden plated, chair.
Right.
4 guys, muscular guys.
Right.
They're just so full of themselves. It's just so bad,
Yeah.
But it is fun to watch all the megalomaniacs go at it, man. It's really
for a little while, but then it's just like, oh my God, man! It's just, I don't know. I say, you feel icky.
I mean, really, you wake up in the morning, it's like, how can I get as many people to notice me as possible?
Right.
Gosh, that drives me insane. I sit here in my cave. It's like, no, go away, Vesper.
Right.
If somebody comes to the door, attack them,
Right.
leave me alone. Which she won't. She'll go out and lick, she'll expect pets. So yeah, she's not an attack dog, but yeah, it's just crazy stuff. But here we go. Hey, remember, a couple of years ago, or last year maybe, where it got spilled, the beans got spilled on Dave Grohl. He had a little side thing going with no fanfare where he was helping cooking for barbecue, of all things, for the homeless. Not just, chicken. He's cooking barbecue, cooking the good stuff for him. Well, he's being honored for that, by golly. There he is. There's the cook right there himself.
Yeah, he's done it a couple times. One, I want to say it was like Super Bowl Sunday or something. It was like on Big Day.
It was a big
holiday, though.
no, boy, it was a
Probably
big
that
day,
Super
but
Bowl Sunday, man. I want to say maybe 4th of
but
July, maybe I don't know. Maybe it was a holiday. I don't know. But
but
yeah,
he,
he's done it a couple times. Yeah, so
yeah. So sure enough, Foo Fighters frontman and former Nirvana drummer Dave Grohl will be recognized at the Hope in the City of Angels Gala on October 18th for his ongoing community service with Hope the Mission. Grohl has quietly volunteered overnight shifts, cooking and serving barbecue meals for unhoused individuals across Los Angeles. The organization praised him for, quote, inspiring advocacy and for showing up without fanfare to support those in need. The event will take place at BMO Stadium, wow, and will honor Los Angeles Mission CEO Dennis Oliski. So there you go. Way to go, Dave. No fanfare. He doesn't need fanfare. He's got all the money he needs. He just knows it's the right thing to do. And there should be a ton of these rich musicians doing stuff like that. Maybe they are, and we just don't know yet. Like him, we didn't
I
know
don't
he's
think
doing.
so. There's
You're
him
probably,
and John Bon Jovi, and that's about it, man. I don't know.
yeah, you're probably right about that. Shame on him, especially the real. Well, a lot of these rich guys, though, like Gene Simmons and ones like I look up a little deeper, and yeah, they've got behind the scenes. They're putting money into.
They're putting money things, but how many are putting their time? Not many.
Well,
Not
that's
many.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, but money helps,
Yeah. Oh,
Money
money.
talks and bullshit walks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
the putting your time to go down there and actually do it, that's a whole nother level. So
Yeah,
yeah.
good for him, man. And I bet
And unfortunately, just coming off of this year too, the whole thing with the affair and the child
yeah,
out of wedlock, and so that kind of
yeah, that's sort of
tainted his year a
image.
little bit. But
Yeah.
still, but you know what? And that's why we were so upset about that, because he is a good guy. Because it was Dave Grohl cheated. Oh my God! I mean, if we
Yeah.
heard that was Tommy Lee, it would have been expected. Oh, Tommy
yeah.
Lee cheated on his wife. They had a kid out of wedlock.
Holy
Just
cow.
one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But the fact that it was Dave Grohl, the nicest guy in rock and roll,
Boy.
and that's what
It
made it
just
a story, and that's what made it shocking. So
proves that we're all human, man. Oh,
yeah, you got that
been
right.
done that. Jeez. Ugh. Okay, but anyway, speaking of Dave Grohl, now, this is an interesting story I had no idea of. I had no idea that there was a much beloved grunge exhibit based on Nirvana. Where's the picture there? Dun, dun, dun. There it is. There's some of the stuff right there. Yeah. So they had what was the name of it? Taking punk to the masses. Nirvana
Right.
taking punk to the masses exhibit in Seattle. It welcomed its last visitor yesterday. Unbelievable, yeah. So they had this exhibit going on at Seattle's Museum of Pop Culture. It's been going on for 14 years, for crying out loud. It opened up on April 2011, called the Experience Music Project, and it spanned the years from '88 to '94. Featured items such as Kurt Cobain's guitars, Chris's basses, Dave Grohl's drum kit, Nirvana setlist clothing, photography, photographs, and a heartwarming handwritten letter from Melvin's frontman, Buzz Osborne. This is cool. A heartwarming handwritten letter from Melvin's frontman, Buzz Osborne, to a young Chris Novoselic. What's it? How do you spell it?
Novoselic.
Novoselic. That's right. Duh.
Yeah.
Telling him that his friend Kurt, quote, might have some kind of future in music. Oh, talk about the understatement. Holy cow.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say
Buzz Osborne, he's quite a character too in his own
Yeah,
right. If you know him, he's kind of fun to listen
he's
to.
a crazy one. Yeah. I love his hair. I've always loved his hair, man.
Yeah.
Jeez,
He's
almighty.
got a pretty unique take on things. Yeah, he's pretty fun to listen to.
So yeah,
They've had this going for 14 years, and you think, okay, well, I saw two different articles about it, and one mentioned this and one didn't. One had just said that it was basically just time to go, time to bring something new in. Which that seems
okay. I bet you got the one I'm looking at. What does it say?
Well, then the other one says that a lot of these items were lent to the museum.
Okay.
And now some of these people are wanting them back.
That's the one I got.
Yeah, they have some of them. They own some of them, but some of the stuff the guys are wanting, because it's not just Nirvana, it's bands like Mudhoney and Tad and
Oh yeah.
Screaming Trees and those kind of bands that were around back then. So guys that didn't
Screaming
make
Trees.
sell a
God.
million. Mark Lanigan, Screaming Trees, yeah, it's a good band.
Dig
And
that. Yeah.
so
But he says, yeah, it wasn't one thing as a number of things. As an exhibit is a living, evolving creature. I wanted it to be very community oriented. I wanted the primary source to be telling the tale in the kind of project providing these objects. So there's 20 different lenders to that show who provided different objects. We also have objects in our permanent collection that are also in the exhibit as well. So there's a bit of that where lenders want their stuff back because they either miss it or because they want to sell stuff at auction or they have other ideas for other projects. So yeah, 14 years without having people having their stuff, that's all right. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I just hope they bring it back in some kind of form for future generations. I mean, 14 years is a nice span for people that are around right now. If you wanted to go to it, you've got plenty of time to go to it. But for a future generation, maybe in 20 years, bring some kind of form, something back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of important. It's kind of musically kind of important. So yeah, Dave Grohl was talking about it. He went the last day and just kind of showed up. But he was talking. He went way back when it first opened. And I brought his kids, and he's like, "Yeah, the kids, they didn't give a shit, they didn't do whatever." But he's sitting there, he's watching, and he was just blown away by people were reading all the little plaques and all the little, little cards that went with everything. He's just blown away how interested people were in all of it. And,
Wow. Yeah. He went there in 2013. And the kids, yeah, whatever, Dad. Where's the nearest Baskin Robbins? That's what they're interested in. They want to treat, damn it. Jeez. So yeah, that's gonna close up. I didn't know it existed, but I'm an old man, so I don't know squat. But I do know we talk an awful lot about people selling their music catalogs. People, cashing in after decades of success, and what a smart thing to do. What a smart thing for these people to do. And here's another one now. Now this one has a bit of a twist. Where is he? Where's Jack? There he is, Jack Black. Jack White, Jack whatever, Jack Gray. He's Gray there. We'll call him Jack Gray. Now, Jack White has sold part of his back catalog to Sony Music, man. Sony Music.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, they're going to own the world of music.
We've heard of a few other players in that market, but yeah, they seem to be the biggest for sure.
Yeah. Let me see. He's sold just a portion. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the good people of the Hollywood Reporter, the deal is said to relate to White's solo music as well as his work with the White Stripes, the Raconteurs, and the Dead Weather. Yee. So the agreement between White and Sony Music is believed to be only for a part of the material, but the report states that it is currently unknown precisely how much has been sold. Additionally, it's also not been revealed how much the reported deal has cost Sony. Come on, people, we want to know. Cripes. But it does say the publication cites a source that claims that he will maintain control of his recordings, and the deal doesn't encompass any future recordings from White. So, I don't know. That sounds like he may be playing a smart game there. You can have this, but anything new, man, boom, you're going to have to buy that later.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he's a smart business guy for sure. He owns his own record vinyl factory or whatever. Yeah, Third Man Records and stuff. So yeah, he's a smart guy and all that kind of stuff. So my first thought is like, you think of guys, usually when we hear this, it's guys like, Springsteen or, Rod Stewart or something, guys that have been around for 60 years, 50 years or whatever. And you think, he seems to be around a relatively short period of time, but he's been around 30 years. So, I mean, it's,
Still,
that
is sort of, it's like, you wouldn't think that, that's not iconic. It's not like the Pink Floyd or the Zeppelin or any of that.
And Queen, we heard about Queen selling there. Yeah, those kind of, bands.
This is, well, maybe they haven't, spoken about the terms because maybe you only got like couple million or something. No, he'll do better than that. More than a couple million, but yeah, geez, I'm surprised, quite honestly. That I would maybe another 20 years, then sell your kit, but I just get the money.
Well, we've talked about why people sell their catalogs, and sometimes it's a smart thing to do, sometimes it's not. In Ozzy's case, he didn't sell it because Jack's smart enough to handle it, so that's a good thing. In most cases, you don't have that person that's smart enough to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's better to
Yeah.
cash out. So in this case, he's cashing out now, where he's still got years to go. And maybe I don't know. He's going to invest that money, reinvest. Who knows what he's going to do with that money? But
And he'll
I'm
have a
sure he's going to come out pretty good. He's a pretty smart
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So
And have a future cash out too then. So yeah. Smart way to do that. Okay, here's a bummer. Doggone it. All my 60s heroes, they're way old now. This is how I remember him the best, right there. Mark Volman when he was with the Turtles. And gosh, I saw him quite a bit back in the 60s on TV. Ed Sullivan, all those programs. And he was always the clown, part of
oh
Flo and
yeah,
Eddie, Flo and Eddie. Flo being short for the fluorescent leech. I always thought it was rat. Fluorescent leech. No, the fluorescent rat was a cartoon from back in the 60s. Yeah. But yeah, so Mark Randall Volman, American vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter, best known as a founding member of the 60s rock band The Turtles, and along with his bandmate and friend Howard Kalin, a member of the 70s rock duo Flo and Eddie, where he used the pseudonym Flo. Volman also became a standout figure also upon joining Frank Zappa's band, The Mother of Inventions.
right.
But yeah, the Turtles, they were so much a part of the music, the AM radio. Back then we all had transistors, of course, and they probably sounded better than the speakers on the phones these days. So we had it going on, man, because they actually did have a nice little speaker in the transistors. Who knows where a speaker is on this thing? What? Who? What? Yeah. But yeah, they were all over. They had so many hits back then. And I got their greatest hits album. It's fabulous. And there's another one of our the 60s heroes.
He's the last one too. He's the last turtle. So the turtles
Another
are all
one.
gone,
They're
yeah,
starting to
yeah.
line up, man. The bands where all the members have passed. There's even some 70s bands where that's gone on. Jeez. Uriah Heep's like they're one member away, for crying out loud. Crying out loud. Yeah, yeah. But they did Happy Together and just the greatest of songs.
Eleanor, that's a good
Yeah,
song.
Eleanor,
Yeah.
yeah. It ain't
So
me, babe. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
looking into this, he cause of death, Lewy body dementia, man. Lewy body dementia.
Robin
Robert Williams.
Williams.
That's what I believe. That's what Bruce Willis has got right now too, right? I think.
Oh, I'm
So
not
yeah,
sure. I'm not sure
yeah.
about that. Wow. What? Well, he is fairly old. He's, I think, 9 years
That
older
just
than me.
sounds like hell. Body dementia. Just
Yeah. Yeah, he's
it took
9 years
some
older
guy
than
named
me.
Louis
So
to discover it. So
Louis
it's got to be
Louis.
hell. Yeah.
Louis Louis, man.
But
What a
here's an
drag.
interesting. I thought. All right. So once they split with the Turtles, contractually, they couldn't use the name of the Turtles
Right.
or even their own names in a musical context, and that's why they came up with Flo and Eddie
Oh,
instead
be
of their
darned.
real names. So, and then they went on right with the Frank Zappa, the Mother of Invention. Did stuff with John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Plastic Ono Band. They did background vocals for a vast array of people. That's about just a few of T-Rex, Steely Dan, Alice Cooper, Springsteen. He was on Hungry
Wow.
Heart, his first Big Ten hit, Hungry Heart.
No kidding.
Blondie, Psychedelic Furs, the Ramones, Duran Duran, and many others. Those are some of the biggest ones. But yeah, they were just kind of those guys, man. Everybody kind of wanted on the record,
Man, oh,
and
man.
so
Apparently a very cool dude. Of course, he just looked at, he just looked like a really cool dude. And it was a
I remember
groovy
him.
60s.
I remember him hosting the Midnight Special one time. It was a Flo and Eddie hosting the Midnight Special, and
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember back then. So
Howard was a singer, and he was basically a clown, a backup singer, but also did, he was a goofball. It was a swinging 60s baby.
yeah, he was a presence. He was his presence on stage,
Right.
man. He was just
Very
kind of
cool.
big
So,
guy, big jolly guy.
yeah. So I tell you what, man, rest in peace, Flo. That's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Woohoo. Oof. Yeah, well, we talked about this. Where is he? Where's Brent? There he is, Brent Hines, Mastodon guitarist. So we talked about this last week or the week before, where he passed away in a motorcycle accident. Well, the police report has come out and the police determined that he was the one at fault in this fatal accident. Uh, and yeah, according to the Atlanta News First.com, the Atlanta Police Department said Hines, 51, was riding his Harley Davidson at a speed between 63 and 68 miles an hour, nearly twice the posted limit. So he got like a 35-mile-an-hour limit.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Gosh almighty.
65 to 35. Yeah.
And then he collided with a BMW SUV at an intersection there, and investigators used the traffic camera footage to determine his speed and cited witness accounts describing him as, quote, driving fast. Initially, police indicated the SUV driver had failed to yield while making a left turn, colliding with Hines as he traveled along the boulevard. However, the final report placed responsibility on Hines due to the speed. I can envision that pulling out onto probably a 4-lane or whatever, pulling out, seeing him way down there. Okay, he's doing 35. I can pull out.
Right.
He's doing almost 70.
And before you know it, he's up on you. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. So initially, they said the driver failed to yield while making a turn. But however, the final report said it was his speed. Conflicting accounts remain over whether the SUV driver had a green or red light at the time of the turn. But, geez, he was breathing and moving when responders got there, but he passed away at the hospital.
So what are they saying? Even if they had a red light, had he been going the speed limit, he would have been able to stop and avoid it. But because he was going
either way, yeah. Speed, I'm sure speed trumps everything there.
Right.
Even if they blew a stoplight, the fact that had he not been going double the speed limit, everybody would have been fine. Maybe they get a ticket but So
right.
Doggone it, you hate to see that, but
well, it's one of the things. Maybe you get away with 99 times out of 100, man. But
motorcycles, God, they're crazy. They're crazy fun, but that's crazy. Wow.
Right.
Well, I used to work at Nestle. Oh, you can see my shirt here, actually. Nestle and second shift. So at like 1:30 in the morning, I'm flying down U.S. Route 23 at about 75, 80 miles an hour with total dark. Animal jumps out, boom, I'm gone. But that's fun. But you can't do it. That was only going 10 over. He was going double the speed limit. So you're gonna pay the price eventually. Who knows how many times he's done that before. And didn't get hit. So, doggone, he just got unlucky this time.
Yeah, bad way to go, man.
Okay, all right. Look at there, the Sex Pistols. Doggone it, those jerks. We got bamboozled by the internet. Who I referenced an article that that the Sex Pistols canceled their whole freaking tour, and we said because Frank Carter broke his wrist or something, and we were giving him all sorts of shit. Turns out it was, who was it? Steve Jones, guitarist. So that makes sense now. We get old, we get brittle bones, dude. They're probably as old as me, I imagine, if not older. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking. We looked up. John Lydon was 67, I think. So
okay.
they're
right around my age. Okay. So so he, we got bamboozled. I should have done more research, but regardless, they canceled the doggone tour. You're not going to be able to see them, which you were looking forward to. So either way, it's a real bummer, and it's dragged because it ain't because of sickness or he's ill. He's a broken wrist, a real thing. So doggone it. We'll see what happens though, dude. Will they come back?
Yeah, we talked about this, how disappointed I was not being able to go and everything. And at the time we said, it was the singer, and we kind of gave him a lot of shit thinking, gave all these examples of other singers that were injured and they still went out. And here's this punk guy, wimping out and everything. But no, it was a guitar player. But you know what?
Got us. Yeah.
Murph, 177 episodes. Our first correction, man. That's pretty good batting average, man.
Yeah, not too
pretty
shabby,
good
my man.
Average,
not too shabby, yeah. And not a big deal. Either way,
it out,
So you got your money back. I mean, they didn't reschedule or anything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if they reschedule. I thought was it going to be their last hurrah or
I would suspect, I mean, I don't think
Doggone
it's
it.
being billed that way, but I think it's kind of
Ah,
an unsaid thing. But yeah,
oh, that hurts, man. That sucks. That really, really sucks. You know who else sucks? Where is he?
well, what Ralph
Where
is?
is
We
he?
haven't talked about him in a while, though.
Oh, there he is. Good old Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian,
Yeah,
what are you doing, man? You flipping a bird to someone. Sebastian Bach. Yeah, we haven't talked about him much, but you can't keep a good man down. Sure
right.
enough, he's back in the news. Good friends of Loudwire here. Headlines: Effing bitch. Sebastian Bach ejects a fan from Chevy Metal show with profanity laden tirade. Oh boy, this is great. So Sebastian Bach had some choice words for a fan whom he ejected at the Chevy Metal concert, where he guested with rock and roll cover band formed by the late Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins.
I've
So
seen that band.
have you really?
Yeah. They were at Riot Fest, and I saw it on the bill Chevy Metal. Had no idea. Pretty cool name. Wasn't any other bands playing at the time, really, so went and checked it out. And lo and behold, yeah, it's Taylor Hawkins' band. And it was just a cover band of killer classic rock songs, just everything across the board, man. They just belted it out. They had a
Cool.
couple people join. Dee Snyder joined them. Juliette Lewis joined them for a song. Van Halen song. It was pretty cool. So
How cool is
I
that,
didn't know they
man?
were still going. I thought that once Taylor left us, that was the end of it. But
Well,
apparently not.
no. Well, by golly, trouble in paradise here. Apparently, he had some choice words for a fan, and footage of the incident circulated on social media over the weekend. He says, this effing bitch, get her the F out of here, Bach says in a video. She comes up to me while I'm talking to my wife and says, hey, can Sebastian give me a hug? I'm not an effing monkey. Get your effing ugly ass the F out of here. Get her the F out of here. Jeez, he's a nice guy. As Chevy Metal kicks into Jane's Addiction's Mountain Song, Bach can be seen raising the middle finger as he calls the woman an effing see you next Tuesday. A TMZ eyewitness suggested that the woman who faced Bach's wrath egged him on before he cursed her out. She allegedly antagonized him while he was singing, recording him and flipping him off during the song. I tried to find that picture because, yeah, she's happy. She's flipping him off and she's in the camera smiling, just egging his narcissistic ass off. Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, a Facebook user named Kat Garofalo responded to the experience's post about the incident and said, hi, all, I'm the bitch. She included a photo of Bach with a middle finger visible in the frame, though it's unclear whose finger it is. And they reached out to Bach, but he hasn't said anything. You know, you figure after all these years, you just get used to that. A heckler, you just blow it off. Go to the other
Well,
side of the
not just a
stage.
heckler, but a fan wanting a hug. What?
Well,
That
yeah,
can't be the first time.
he could have
You
said,
know.
actually, I think she asked his wife if
Right,
she could hug him.
right,
I mean,
right.
that's courtesy. I
I
just wanted to
believe
hug
so.
with
Yeah,
this rock
yeah,
star who's been my hero. Oh, you effing see where
yeah.
what this guy really go away. God, I hope he's poor, really, because he deserves it. He doesn't deserve the riches of a rich
Oh, I'm
musical
sure he's
career.
not hurting, but yeah.
Oh gosh, what a douchebag! God Almighty,
And
really?
the thing is, you see him in interviews and stuff, and he's very, I don't know, excited about rock and roll, man. Just to hear him talking about coming up and buying records and stuff, it's like the kind of guy you like to listen to. But then he turns into this kind
Yeah,
of douche,
yeah, yeah.
this douchebaggery.
And then we go back here. It says this is hardly Bach's first time getting into it with a fan while performing. During a 1989 Skid Row concert, a fan threw a bottle at Bach's head. Well, geez, prompting him to hurl the bottle back into the crowd, hitting an innocent girl.
Yep, I remember that.
Remember
Yep.
that? We talked about that. Then jump
Yeah.
into the audience to fight the offending bottle tosser. That you got to leave that's why you got security, man. You don't do that shit. But
Yep.
since then, Bach has been liberal with stopping his shows to yell at fans or kick them out of shows at the first sign of any perceived wrongdoing. Sheesh. Well, pardon us, dude. Man, no, he's always been trouble. Really, they should just he should get back together with Skid Row and just call it the Trainwreck Tour or something and just see how long they
Well, dude,
last.
they'll never have him. Every time you see an
I
interview with
know.
Snake Sabo or any of those guys, Rachel
Yeah,
Bolan or him, they're
I
like,
know.
no way, no
I
way.
know. That's why it would be the Trainwreck Tour. It'd be they last like a show and a half. It'd be like what's his name? Hitting Dave Navarro. Yeah, yeah. It'd be one of those deals. They'd,
Right.
after a gig and a half, they'd be at each other's throats. So not gonna happen. But geez, what a douchebag. And it's not like he's headlining some big tour. He's probably playing in a little club with a band that's probably getting 200 people. It's like, geez, whatever. I don't know, but
Well, I see him on like on Facebook scrolling and stuff. He's got a new album out and he's pushing that and everything. And it's like, really, what are you selling, man? I don't know.
yeah, douchebag.
20,000 maybe. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. There's my planet. My planet with all the debris floating around it. Yeah, yeah. Love it. But yeah, cool show. Bunch of weird stuff this week. Gee, many creepers. Never ceases to amaze me, man. But they're rock stars, and narcissists, and all sorts of cool things. So we'll wait till next week, see what happens again. Yeah, episode 178 or is this 77?
This is 77 today.
Ooh,
Yeah.
doggy. Yeah, that's a lot of episodes. Feeling pretty good
Coming up,
about that.
be hitting 200 before you know it, man.
Oh my gosh, can't wait, brother. Freaking A. Until then, man, why don't you take it home and yeah, have a good one, man.
Yeah, some pretty good stories, a good variety as usual. Always love to talk about all of it, and certainly better than the real news that's going on.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll,
should we? It's just people are idiots. Stealing baseballs and all that stuff from
I was gonna
kids.
say, although the Philly Karen is a pretty interesting story, but other than that, yeah, we're not here.
People suck. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
They've had some good memes going on with that one too. Saw the one where she's like Charlie on Willy Wonka, with the gold. That's my golden ticket. That was pretty.
Oh,
good,
the meme world goes crazy on stuff
Yeah,
like
oh
that.
yeah. The internet, is undefeated, man. The internet's undefeated. So yeah, whatever comes up, we'll talk about it. I hope you'll join us. Remember, it'll be on Tuesday from now on. So make the necessary arrangements in your schedule, whatever you need to do. So
That's right.
and until then, we'll talk to you then. Have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.